Greetings, and you have been pulled into the black dimension. I am Kev, and Donnie is along for this broadcast in particular to discuss a Disney Plus series What If, based on the Marvel comic series. This was a uh, weekly episodic television animated series. It was a really good, and really
Man,
showed, it really showed that Disney could take over the animated genre. I mean, so episode three, the premise was, what if Earth lost its mightiest heroes, which was kind of a murder mystery. What's going on, Donnie?
man, I'm out here living my best life. I really enjoyed this episode. I feel like this was one of the better ones. So I'm super excited to talk about this one.
Okay, it was straight savage. Starts off. The what if is like they're kind of like deviations from the MCU timelines, which introduces another possibility. So since it's going along with the MCU films, we start off in Iron Man 2 on this episode, where Nick Fury and Tony Stark and Natasha Romanoff, who reveals herself to be Black Widow, uh, meets up in the diner, and of course, Tony Stark was getting, I think, lead poisoning from the arc reactors. So there was a scene where she injected him with some kind of nullifying agent to, kind of give him a little bit more time to figure out a solution. But this time, Tony Stark just kills over and dies right at the bar. So, yeah, this starts a very interesting, very savage episode.
Man, so are we going to admit that? Well, I wouldn't say admit, but say that Ant-Man and potentially the first Wasp were the second and third Avengers, potential Avengers anyway.
The potential Avengers probably
Well,
at the.
okay, so I say it like this: the first Avenger would have been Captain America, right? He would have been the first one on the roster
Yes.
because he was that was what 50s, 40s,
Yeah, 40s
World
kind
War.
of. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been the first one. Second one we had was Ant Man because I believe Ant Man, even though uh, Captain Marvel takes place in the past, Ant Man probably predates him because I think he was young when he was out fighting and doing all that stuff along with his wife. Wife was gone. The fourth one would have been Captain Marvel at that point.
Oh, okay.
No, any disagreements?
No. I'm not disagreeing. I'm following you. I'm following you.
Yeah, so I very much like um, the dynamic that they went in. But let's talk about the story stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, he kills over. Who goes next?
Who goes next? Thor. Thor goes, I believe, goes next. And Roger, what's going on? Uh,
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
yeah. All right. Well, we are discussing What If Episode 3. What If Earth Lost Its Mightiest Heroes? After which, they go to the movie Thor right after. We got to talk about they arrested Black Widow, and she's automatically suspected of the murder. And, how
Yeah,
she makes a daring escape from the van. What you'll notice is you have Samuel L. Jackson, but you don't have Scarlett Johansson playing the voice of Black Widow. You also have Frank Grillo, who's uh, playing Brock Romlow, who would become Crossbones eventually. But at this point in the story, he isn't. That isn't until Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So, so right now we're going into the deviation of the movie Thor, where they go to him getting into the fight at the encampment surrounding Mjolnir, his hammer. And just as he's about to pull it, Hawkeye's aiming at him. And this is where it gets real funny for me. It's like Hawkeye is actually aiming for a kill shot in this. He's not trying to disable him. Is obviously he's aiming for, because what happens right when he pulls the hammer, something happened. His hand just lets go of the bow, and it shoots Thor in the heart, killing him. So that's the second Avenger. And
Yep.
Hawkeye is very perplexed as to what happened. He said, "I never do this. What's going on?" He's confused. So, after which Hawkeye is arrested and held in a cell for questioning until they could figure out what he did. He's super depressed, but they thought he was super depressed. But then when they go into the cell with him, he falls over and dies. So this is just getting messed up all the way around.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was quite the display of what was going on. Now I heard you you guys were kind of figuring who would have been the Avengers had it not went the way things had went, because I heard you mentioning Captain
Well,
America would have been first.
based on what we know now, right?
Hmm.
Excluding the Eternals, because the Eternals are not out.
Right.
But based on what we know, the second superhero, right? The second superhero set, that's probably a better phrase, and would have been Ant-Man and the First Wasp.
Well, yeah, they would have been two and three because Captain America
Yeah,
still would have beat him. You know.
right. So, and then after that, we have Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So yeah, there was something they still could have put a team together. You know, because that's what the reason you're looking at that, right? They still could have put some sort of team together, even
Well, I
with
mean,
these guys getting knocked off.
after we knock off Hawkman, who's next? Hawkman, Hawkeye. After we knock off Hawkeye, we go to the Hulk, right? So in this
Yeah,
iteration, I thought was very interesting because they covered up their tracks, right? They didn't play the game of we're gonna put the old actor. No, no, no. They put Mark Ruffalo's character in there as the Hulk at
yeah,
the college, right? It was university, and the scene plays out from there. You want to go over it, Kev? Or
yeah. It reminds you that the Incredible Hulk is canonical to the MCU, which I liked, and I do like the insert of Mark Ruffalo instead of Ed Norton. And then but what I found funny about that scene was he kept foreshadowing, saying he said the line, "Well, I kind of can't die." So it's like, okay, well, they're not gonna get the Hulk, but at the same time, simultaneously, Loki and the Warriors 3 with a army from Asgard and that little box where he did all the powers of Jotunheim in it. He came to Earth to get revenge for the murder of Thor. So that was interesting. Tom Hiddleston does play Loki.
Yeah, that was an interesting twist for sure. You
Yeah,
know.
so I thought this was very crazy to me because it downplayed. We'll get into that in a minute. But I've always known the Hulk as an immortal. He's like, I can't die. No, he can't die. So for him to die the way he died, that it blew me away. I was like, whoa, what the hell? Like I've never seen anything like that, and that really messed me up. So it to me that was crazy in itself. Like I've known even in the comics they've shot Bruce Banner, and the Hulk took over after the fact. And he completely healed after that. But for the Hulk to die, like it wasn't Bruce Banner dying, it was the Hulk. It was full on the Hulk. Pop goes the weasel. That was insane to me.
yeah. He just blew up and exploded. And piggybacking on what Donnie was talking about, the Hulk is a Marvel superhero with one of the most aggressive healing factors of all the characters. So how could he have died? Because then Betty Ross was in the scene herself, and she was like, "No, but he can't die." Like,
But she was
so
telling the truth
Right.
up until that point.
I was like, "You wrong," So
Because the Hulk has a healing factor that's better than Wolverine and Deadpool. Because we've seen Deadpool with his head chopped off, still talking, still rolling. His head just grows back a whole body, right? Wolverine is where he got the healing factor from. Even though we've seen Wolverine die in a couple iterations, but that was insane to me. It just poof, no more Hulk.
yeah. So once these once you get the murders up until here, and then the Asgardian conflict where a lot of the soldiers died because of the frost little thing. Black Widow and Nick Fury figures out that they are the next two targets after that. So, so Black Widow does some investigation, and then she finds out, who it was, and she turned around, said some shit, "You'll never win," and all of a sudden she's flying around like somebody invisible is beating the crap out of her. And she says on the phone to Nick Fury, "It's all about hope. It's all about hope." Like and then in the next scene, Fury goes to check something out. So when he goes to do is he meets up who the actual what it ties up everything. What's been happening to the Avengers? Why they've been getting killed like this out of nowhere? And the culprit turns out to be Hank Pym,
No
Ant Man.
other than. No
No,
other than.
all right, all right. Who wants to go over this one?
Okay, so let's put a pin in this. That would automatically make Hank Pym or anybody wearing the Ant Man costume, right? Probably one of the strongest characters in the Marvel universe for the simple fact that he can kill you the way he did the Hulk. He could have went in Thanos' nose and popped Thanos' head off. I mean, it says a lot. It's just really in how you think about and how to use the powers, and you can go hard in the paint. It's absolutely insane to me. The whole Thanos conflict could have been ended in one shot. Oh, we're
Mm.
gonna fight you. What? Something went off in Thanos' nose. Giant Man appears. Thanos is gone.
I don't know. I don't know if that would be quite right because Pym is a scientist, so having information on the Hulk, he had to figure out some type of concoction that was going to take the Hulk out. Now, would a concoction that's made for the Hulk work on Thanos? Not necessarily.
No, he went inside. So he was inside whatever little canister that went into the Hulk, or he went into Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, right? And then he was inside his body. So when he transformed, Ant Man was still on the inside. He exploded by growing bigger inside of the Hulk.
No, that's not it. Because Hank
That's
Pym
not
would have
what
been
happened.
no, because Hank Pym would have been smothered. That's that the Hulk's biology would have fucked him up.
So how did
No,
he
Hank.
explode then?
No, the disc that grows everything. They throw it at something and then it grows it automatically. He threw one of those discs at his heart, and his heart he made his heart expand so much, his healing factor couldn't take over enough to stop it. So, poof, he killed him by
Okay,
exploding
so
his heart.
he shrunk and then grew some shit, not his physical body. So, but my thing is why couldn't he do that to Thanos?
Thanos. Oh yeah, they had this internet joke about what if Ant Man went up Thanos' butt. Remember that?
Yeah,
He just
No.
oh for real, it was it
I
was it was
saw it.
it was viral. But let me go down how each person died for real. Okay, Ant Man was injected inside of Iron Man's neck, messed him up, killed him. Hawkeye went inside Ant Man went inside Hawkeye's ear, scrambled his brain, killed him. Ant Man just like I said, he killed the Hulk by putting a disc on his heart. He just pummeled Black Widow. Um, and Thor. Oh yeah, with Thor, Hawkeye was aiming at him, and then Ant Man hit his finger to flick the arrow to let it go. And obviously, Hawkeye was aiming for a kill shot, so that's what happened as a result. So, how Ant Man is beaten is he meets up with Nick Fury, and he proceeds to try to kill Nick Fury. Nick Fury is just slapping him all over the place. It turns out that Nick Fury was Loki, and he had made a deal with Nick Fury, to catch his brother's killer. So he disguised himself as Nick Fury and just started smacking Ant Man all over the place. And then they took Hank Pym away to go deal with Asgardian justice. But the twist was Loki took over the Earth. So he was forced to use the pager to call Captain Marvel in. And, that is a bit more foreshadowing as to what may happen in a future episode, at
and
least.
you would think Loki would be okay if Thor was already dead, because then he was going to take the throne on Asgard anyway. You'd think he'd be okay, but that just wasn't enough for Loki.
Yeah,
No,
but
you know what? He probably was okay, but at the same time, you can't. That's my brother to kill. That's not your brother to kill.
yeah. But yeah, these two words right here: glorious purpose.
Yeah, he's burdened with it. He's burdened with
Burdened
it.
with glorious purpose. So with any type of would be conqueror, it will be cool to rule Asgard and Midgard. Loki is just greedy like that. And he is a Loki. So anyway, I think that's me. I think that pretty much covers it. And looking forward to episode 4. Episode 4 is what if Doctor Strange lost his heart? Not physically, but we'll talk about that when that episode comes. Anything else on this very interesting murder mystery of a what if?
Nah, this was one of the. This, I think this was the top. Aside from the zombie one that comes, and the ending, of course. But I think this is the best one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they put a lot of thought into this one, and I actually like the way you. I honestly didn't figure out it was Hank Pym, and so that really kind of got me. The fact that I couldn't figure out who was actually doing this stuff, it had to be revealed that it was Hank Pym before I could figure it out. So I dug it. I definitely dug it.
Okay, and what I will say is that it fits in the theme of what if. When I was reading them as a kid with the comics, there were a lot of heroes that died in those what ifs, and this pretty much was a callback to how the what if comics were before. So that's pretty much how I took it, and that and the zombie episode as well, because in order for it to be a zombie episode, a lot of people got to die. So yeah, so anyway, that be it. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, and tune in to us next time. You have been pulled into the black dimension. Hopefully, you find your way out. Till next time.